All right, everybody. How's it going? This is, I guess, a fireside chat after our big crawfish bull on Feast with the Beast yesterday. And we did a marathon 4-hour live feeds, two of them combined. And we showed everybody how to how to bull crawfish the right way, right? Louisiana style, right? That's what we do down here. It's a big culture, or it's ingrained into the culture down here, and it's where people bond, families bond, neighborhoods bond, friends bond, and just relax and have a good time. So this is some of the leftover crawfish that I have. If you come on here, let me know. Mike, Sally, what is going on? When you come on, if you let me know you can hear me all right, I'm going to take a look in on my phone and see just how the feed's going. Make sure it's in there all right. John Starskovich, Shannon Castle, what's up? Loud and clear. All right, thank you very much. Charles Talbot. So look, after our crawfish boil yesterday, we had some crawfish left over. Actually, a little bit more than this. This is, if I had to guess, this is probably about 12 pounds right here. 10 or 12 pounds. And so I took and peeled a bunch. This is about 1.5 pounds of crawfish tails out of the shell. Okay, so, and I'm not sure how many crawfish it takes to make 1.5 pounds of tails, but after after everybody eats and you have a good time, a lot of times everybody will sit around and help you peel the rest of your crawfish, so then you can make dishes with it throughout the year or throughout the month, throughout the week, whatever. So we're going to make dishes with this throughout the week. And today I'm making a crawfish roll, or a crawfish salad roll. And so the measurements in the description are kind of like, you'll see they say an exact measurement, but they're really not exact measurements. Because a lot of it has to do with how big the crawfish are, how spicy the crawfish are, that kind of stuff, whether you add more or less of other things. So some of it you're going to do to taste, but it's a good guide, right? I would always start off with a little bit less mayonnaise because you don't want it too mayonnaisey unless you really like mayonnaise. And then the other spices, like the dill weed, you really want to be careful. You don't want to overdo it. Celery seed. I think I might have forgot to put celery seed in the list, but I always use a little bit of celery seed. And the celery, all that stuff, I really just estimate. I put it all together, and if it looks right, it's right. But those are very close measurements you can use to get started if you've never made a crawfish salad, shrimp salad. You can use same recipe for shrimp salad. For lobster roll, a lobster salad roll, for me personally, I would take away the spicy mustard. I would take away the Worcester. But when we do some lobsters, I'll show you how that recipe changes for that kind of seafood. So anyway, do anybody have any questions right now? So what do you do with the claws? So if the claws are really tiny, I don't really do anything with the claws. If the claws are big, I break them out and I eat them. I don't really break the claws open and put those in this. That's way too much work. If I'm going to break the claw off, it's only a little tiny bit of meat in there, and I'm eating it. Just so you know, I need to put there, Crawfish Beast. So I need to put that down just a little bit. All right, so we still have crawfish available on crawfishbeast.com. We had people asking about just getting the boiler pot, right, and the burner. So I put that on grillbeastfoods.com. So if you go to Grill Beast Foods, click all products, you can get that burner, that pot and burner, if that's all you want. We had a lot of people asking about that. We had a lot of people asking about the paddle. I'm going to have the paddle up there either late tonight or tomorrow. And then we also had people asking about, can we send them already cooked crawfish? And then we had other people asking, can we send crawfish tails? So we can send those products. So if we send crawfish tails already picked, so all you have to do is cook with it, we can do that, and they'll be in packs where they're all frozen. And then the same way with the crawfish, if we send those already cooked, we would cook them, and then we would flash freeze them, vacuum seal them, and send them to you. So then you would get them, and you would basically just heat them up in some seasoned water, and I would show you how to. I'm going to show you how to do that later on this week. So yeah, so let's get started. Does anybody have any questions? Are you going to sell the Bloody Mary? Yeah, actually, we are going to sell the Bloody Mary seasoning. We're going to sell the seasoning. We got a good little sort of like a partnership going on with this Chris. He's going to sell our barbecue products, and we're going to sell his seasonings and stuff. So, you know, I'm telling you, I promise you, these are the best crawfish I've ever had in my life. Ever had in my life. They are just delicious. I am seeing crawfishbeast. That's right, crawfishbeast.com. Now, we're still grillbeast.com. We're still grillbeastfoods.com. But we set this specific domain up so it's geared toward everything you need just for a crawfish bowl. Okay? So what's up, Chris Coffer? Dan Olson. So, yeah, Rick, how you doing, buddy? Who else we got on here? Dave, Valmer, Phil Gamboa. Shannon, Phil, David. Who else? Are we rocking pretty good on the visitors so far? So if you can share the feed, that would be awesome. If you could like the feed and all that, do a watch party. I'm about to start the feed right now. We got 61 people in there. So I'm going to go ahead and start everything up. I want to make sure you can see everything really good, and I think you can. All right, so like I said, you are going to start off with your leftover crawfish, right? And then you're going to sit down and you're going to peel the tails, and then you're going to end up with a pile of crawfish like this. Now, my recipe in the description, it goes by like a pound of crawfish. This is a little over, this is about a pound and a half, a little bit over. So, so then you got that, right? So I would dump that in there. So now this is going to make a lot of crawfish salad. Now, the next ingredient that you want to put in is, for this amount, you're looking at a good bit of mayo, probably right around 3/4 of a cup. Okay? So let's just say about that much, maybe that much. So good 2 heaping tablespoons. But you can measure it out. It'll be about 3/4 for that amount of crawfish. And then you want about a 1/4 cup of celery. I might even measure this. I mean, onions. Yeah, so my handful was just right. Alright, and then about a 1/2 cup of celery that's diced up. Okay, which is probably all of that. And then I'm going to throw just a little bit of green onion in there. I will throw a dash of Worcester. I will put just a little squeeze spicy mustard. Now, like the spicy mustard, stuff like that, you can add and subtract. You're better off starting off with less than more. My celery seed, I just kind of shake some in there. Okay. And my dill weed, I'm actually going to wait to put the dill weed in until after I mix this up. Okay? So then I take a big fork and I just start mixing it. See, and you never know about, especially about the mayonnaise, until you start getting going. And like this here looks like it's going to take more mayonnaise. But you want to get it mixed up really good because mayonnaise will fool you, right? Sometimes you think you don't have enough, and then next thing you know, you got too much. Okay? So let me see, look. I thought I needed more, and it's already looking like it's probably enough. There you go, look, see, and that is exactly right. Okay, so actually all the ingredients look really good in here. So you're gonna do about a teaspoon of dill, all right? So I'm not good at estimating, so I'm gonna sprinkle it around. So I just put like 3/4 of that in. I'm going to mix it up and kind of get a look at it before I put too much in, because you can kind of tell sometimes just by looking. You know, I don't want too much. Now that celery seed is really going to go to work on it as it sits in the fridge. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to pour the rest of this in there. And I might add a little bit more celery seed too. A little bit of salt and pepper. I've seen people use white pepper in here sometimes. I don't. This is looking really good. Now I only put a little bit of green onion in here because when I make my roll, I'm actually going to add a little bit of green onion to the top. Okay. Actually, all right, that is really, really good. Yeah, that is really good. So if you just say you bought just plain crawfish tails, right? You didn't cook them. They weren't boiled to where they were spicy. They're kind of like just boiled crawfish tails. They don't have any spice to them. So then you could take some of the crawfish bowl and add some of that to it to help the spice and the flavor get in there even better. So then, now up north they actually have a roll, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's a little bit taller. And it's cleaned off like that on the sides, and you throw that on the grill. So I got the grill working here. So I'm going to throw that in there for a second. Let that get a little bit toasty. I'm going to flip it over. Then I'm going to make it, and then I'm going to eat me a sandwich. So just like I was saying earlier, we've had a lot of people ask us about cooked crawfish and crawfish tails. So, I mean, you guys could tell me in the comments, does cooked crawfish, like if you didn't take advantage of the deal for the live crawfish, does cooked crawfish, does that interest you? Or does getting crawfish tails already cooked, already cleaned, everything to where you just use it in a recipe, does that interest you more? Like one of those, or just live crawfish. If you can let me know in the comments, that would be awesome. Let me see how many comments we got. We got lots of comments coming in. So is the grilled beef? Regular group. Is that in the Grillby's food? Is that in the regular group? I'm not sure what you mean, Dave. Um, I'm not sure. Yeah, so right, Rick said it's a split top roll, but like the roll I have is actually a split top roll too, but it's not. Let me crank this thing up. But it's not. But it's not the kind that you would want. Like this one is like the Pepperidge Farm split top roll, but they have a different one up north. It's taller. Dave, I'm not sure what your question is, man. Grillby's Foods. Yeah, so Grillby's Foods is a company that we started in. So we already had Grillby's barbecue accessories. Then we started Grillby's Foods. And the crawfish are actually going to eventually be sold on Grillby's Foods, but right now we just have it on crawfishbeast.com. How much for the cooked? So if you go to crawfishbeast.com, Robert, we have an option for you to get a 15-pound sack or a 30-pound sack. And I can't remember and shipping is included right now. The 15-pound sack I think is like $129, and the 30-pound sack I think is $229, something like that. I can't remember. You'd have to go there and take a look at it. All right. Cooked is better. Live cost too much to ship. So yeah. So Phil has a good point, right? Because whenever you buy live, it has to be shipped overnight express. Okay. So, and I was checking shipping on a bunch of the orders that we've gotten in. Some of them would be there at 10 o'clock in the morning. Some by noon. But I did find a couple places and these people must live like, I guess out in the sticks, and theirs is like wouldn't be delivered till the afternoon. So yeah, so live has to be shipped overnight. If you buy them already cooked, we're gonna flash freeze them. We can send them 3-day, and it's a lot less expensive. Same thing with the crawfish tails, that would be shipped frozen. But a lot of people are really loving the idea of doing a crawfish bowl too. So I'm telling you, and we have orders from restaurants and all that all around the United States. So this is something that like people really want to do. Yeah, you're right. Rick said it's called a New England split top roll. So yeah, buddy, here we go. Got the fire cranking up. I'm going to be eating me a crawfish roll in just a jiffy, just a minute. Trying to catch your questions. Yes. Yeah, oh, okay. Rick just put the prices up there. Frozen versus live in the north. Gregory. So yeah, I mean, look, it all depends on really what you want to do. I know in some areas of the U.S. it's still cold, but Oh yeah, here we go. Hold on. I didn't bring any paper towels out here with me, and I know this is going to make a mess. So, so this is what you got. So, I don't know how that looks on the camera, but it looks delicious here. So, anybody have any questions about this? Let me know if you have any questions. Bill Batchelor, what's up? Amanda, Patrick, Jennifer Bates, Gregory. Oh shit. Man, I just lost a little bit of crawfish. All right, I'm going to eat this. This is really, really good. I mean, seriously. Let me see what we got. Any more questions? Denny, right. Denny's had crawfish. These taste amazing. And I'm telling you, that recipe is rocking that I put in this, put in the, in the description. Once they're cooked, you can freeze till they're ready to eat. Yeah, you can. Now, wait a minute, we've got a bunch of questions. If I could bite through this. Mike, Sally, I'm telling you, this is, ever since I planned on doing that crawfish bowl, I couldn't wait to do this. So tomorrow, I'm going to make something else with crawfish, all right? And so as you can see, we're videotaping all this, so I'm keeping all these, and I'm actually going to upload these to like a little membership site where we're going to start collecting all these recipes, and then you'll have easy access to them. Anybody who wants to become the member. Jeff Robinson, I don't know if it's not. So, Georgia, are you asking, are we going to be doing shrimp? We're talking about doing shrimp, yes. Phil, I'm telling you, I don't know how this looks on the camera, but it is delicious. Yes, Mina, crawfish. Or are you answering somebody? This apple phone, Denny. That's funny, Denny. But I might even make me another one. So, does anybody have any questions about the crawfish roll? Or do you have any questions about all these crawfish right over here? Or, well, I would say I don't have the plate of crawfish tails anymore. So, you can't really see this. Can you see this? Man, so we're going to be chowing down on this tonight. Hopefully we'll have a little bit left over tomorrow, and I can have it for lunch. And then tomorrow night, I'm not telling you what I'm making, but I'm going to be making something else with crawfish. All right? I guess you know, I've never had a crawfish pizza. I'm trying to think if I've heard of it. I'm sure there's been plenty of crawfish pizzas out there, though. Oh, Victor. So, if you did not get to see the crawfish video, just go to our business page, which you're on right now. There's 2 videos. We did it for like 4 hours yesterday. We're going to take those videos and condense them down into a step-by-step video. All right? So you could go through and watch it, and you can skip back, skip forward, and reverse back and all that stuff while you went and really learn how. I tell you, after yesterday, I learned so much. I feel like I'm a pro at bull and crawfish now. Chris, that dude really knows his stuff, and he really taught us a lot. I had people that live like in Chalmette and in New Orleans and even here in Covington that contacted me and said that they've been born crawfish their entire lives, and they learned something yesterday. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Yeah, so I announced it on last night's feed. I did a feed last night in the group. So if you haven't watched that, or if you have watched it, you already know what April's challenge is. But I guess I could go ahead and say it now. April's challenge is going to be a seafood challenge. Any kind of seafood, any way you want to do it, plate it any way you want to plate it, okay? So it's a seafood challenge. You can do crawfish, you can do crabs, you can do shrimp, clams, whatever. Anything you want to do. So Benjamin says pizza's great with crawfish. Dan Olson, how you doing? Dave, that was a great learn. Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, it was a long a long, long, long feed. It was probably the longest feed I've ever done. The one was 45 minutes, and then it got interrupted because everybody was getting a bad signal, so we stopped it and restarted, which doing that, we lost a lot of, we had well over 200 people on, and so we had to start over. And so the second feed only got up to like, I think the highest maybe 158, something like that, which is still really good. And then that one lasted for 3 hours, and what happened was the iPad gave out. So the iPad battery had been going dead, and so what I had done is I plugged it in, and so Crystal was walking around with an extension cord hooked up to the iPad, and then finally it just quit. It obviously still works because I'm using it right now. So it's nice. I'm glad to see we got 43 people on right now. I really love it when people come on and they show an interest in what we're working on here. I really do. I put a lot into thinking about what to do and what to say and all that kind of stuff. What's up, Doug? And so if anybody has any questions, let me know right now, because in a few minutes I need to go get my daughter from Silver Air Patrol, and she's going to be totally stoked to see that I made crawfish rolls. So Amanda says, so I need to look at the calendar, but it's going to be the last weekend of the month of April. Okay? So whatever date that is. It's a seafood challenge. It's going to be due, or turn in, is going to be the last weekend of April. Okay? So I'm going to probably, if I stay on this track, I'll probably do a seafood every single weekend. And then the last weekend of the month, whatever I do on that last weekend will probably be a segue into May's challenge. That's the way I'm trying to do it. So when you do these, make sure you make enough, because one is not enough. I'm going to eat at least one more. And as far as I know, crawfish are not fattening, but I don't know. I don't keep up with that stuff. Bob Phillips, how you doing, man? All right, so Shannon says that it's Shannon says it's April 32nd, so we know it's not that. Oh, so are you saying that the last day in April is on a Saturday? I don't know. Let me see. It is possible. I'm going to look. Let me look at the calendar when I make the official announcement on Friday. Because I'm going to choose the winner of this past week's challenge, and then we'll make the official announcement. I will tell you exactly when the weekend is that the turn-in will be and all that kind of stuff. Eddie Hoare is going to be... Oh, I know. Eddie's going to be really excited. Todd Kern should be excited too. I hope you guys got a look at all those entries that we got. I scanned through them today, and I tell you what, they really look good. So it's going to be really exciting to do the judging, I think. Joyce Cook, what's up? George Nettles? Yeah, so I'm assuming it's a very healthy dish, other than it has mayonnaise, which is not, that's kind of fattening. But, whatever. It's delicious. All right, so look. Okay, so Jennifer says the 28th is a Sunday, so that sounds like that's going to be, okay, it's going to be that weekend. Okay, yeah, so the last weekend of the month is, I think, the 27th and 28th. So it's going to be that weekend. But again, Friday, I'll announce it officially. Again, if you are thinking about crawfish, getting them live, boil them having a crawfish boil at your house, then you should really think about getting them soon before We don't have them. We were able to get some more, so we extended our deal. We're also thinking about doing cooked crawfish and crawfish tails, because we've had some people ask us about them. So if there's enough interest, then we will do those. So if you mention in the comments whether you would be interested in already cooked crawfish and or crawfish tails, let me know, and then we can kind of figure out if we're going to do those. Yeah, so Amanda said it's keto as long as you don't use light mayo crap. I don't know much about the keto or the mayo. So Amanda, are you saying that you can or cannot use mayo in keto, or you cannot only use light mayo? I don't know. I'm not sure. Joseph, what is going on? All right, look, I got to cut out. I got to go get Tyler from CAP. I will be on tomorrow night or late afternoon, sometime tomorrow, and we're going to talk about another dish that you can do with crawfish tails. All right, I hope you guys learned something tonight. I hope it makes you a little bit more interested in what we in Louisiana really love to eat, which is crawfish. And we love all the seafood, but we really love crawfish. It's really huge down here. And we really do. I really do want you to experience the culture. And even if you can't come down here, you can take the experience to your own house and your own family wherever you live. And a good example of how that feels to people, one of the guys that was here yesterday, Ben Arnott from Smoking Hot Confessions podcast. He's visiting the U.S. and he's doing a tour, and he was in New Orleans. And when I saw him, when we did an interview a couple of days before, I asked him, I was like, what are you trying to do and all this, and he said, well, really he just wanted to have a crawfish bowl. I said, well, it's a coincidence because we are having a crawfish bowl on Sunday. And he was leaving town Sunday, so he was able to check out of his Airbnb and swing by here. He spent all afternoon here with him and his family did, and so he got to really experience what a crawfish bowl was too. And I'm sure if he was on here right now, he would tell you that it is a bonding experience. Like we, did all this stuff together, and that's what people do. They work together when they have a crawfish bowl, and it just brings people together. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Later on, everybody, crawfishbeast.com if you want to get the crawfish. If you want any other of our exotic foods that we have going on right now, it'll be grillbeastfoods.com. If you just want that pot in the cooker, that's on grillbeastfoods.com right now too. That's it. Peace out. Y'all have a good night.